Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we're talking about practice.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere of and they wonder it's not me. It's beef, we strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines, you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'm a go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They brain got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows. Thinking you woke into your third eye, peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a gang, these niggas lame, they bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Lamping these niggas once again, and I ain't break a sweat. Number 1 at everything I do, that's why I'm one West. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this, janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, take the 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, and it's not lit. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't fight my mind.
All right, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. I'm Officer 5000, Mataza Pabi, holding down tonight's class. Tonight is the Brotherhood class. If, of course, you got any questions, type them in, you know what I mean? We'll get them, Lord allow. Also, when is that? I just played Things Christians Say. Or right, things Christians
Sundays.
So Sundays.
We're still trying to iron down time.
Okay, y'all look out for that podcast on Sundays. The brothers be getting it in. Right. The time hasn't been nailed down yet. So
from 6 to 8.
From 6 to 8.
Roughly.
Right. Okay, roughly around 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Man, y'all tune in and get it in with those brothers. All right. So I'm sure y'all can see what today's title of the class is. So the title of the class, a lot of people may or may not be familiar with these terms. So that's the point of why we're going over it today. All right, and what it means and how does it fit with what's like the news of today. All right, so the title is called Zionism, Khazars, and Jews of Antiquity. All right, so those are the topics that we're going to be talking about tonight. Of course, we all know what's going on in the news. We see wars happening, right? We see wars and we see rumors of wars. Okay, so we see specifically, Ukraine fighting with Russia. Of course, America also is in that war as well because America does have troops on the ground. They may not tell you this in the media, right? They may not tell you this in our Western news media, but America is in that war. America does have troops on the ground over there. Okay. Now, we also see Israel and Palestine.
All right.
Now, America's in that war as well, because without America's backing, Israel would not be allowed to do what it's doing in the so-called Middle East. So we at war, and there's rumors of people jumping into war, Iran jumping into war, Lebanon, right, with Hezbollah, Jordan, Egypt, let's even say with the Ukraine and Russia, China and stuff like that. I think China got a fleet out there right now, out there in the waters. You know, America sent a fleet of ships over there to Israel. They sent the ship of fleets. We have what is called I'm not exactly, I know it's called the something Ford, the Gerald Ford or something, right? And you know how it's one of them big ships that it has like planes on it.
Right,
it has
right,
all this
right.
kind of stuff.
Concert.
We have the biggest one on Earth.
I heard they sent two aircraft carriers over there.
Yeah.
One was the biggest one that's ever.
Yeah, it's the biggest one ever.
And there was another one, but I didn't know they sent a whole fleet.
Now, why the hell do we need all of that artillery over there?
Right. Because they got to back up. They
right.
Back up those people.
If what they're telling us in the media is they're only here to fight Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
Hamas is the terrorist, right? Why the hell do you need a aircraft carrier to fight some people that's already contained in a specific area? Because the Gaza Strip is contained.
Right.
It's like a border there. You just can't walk freely in and out of the Gaza Strip. So you know where these people are at. But yeah, we send in all of that goddamn artillery hardware over there. And you know why it is, right? It's not for Hamas.
Right.
It's to go to war with everybody else that's around Israel.
That was the point I was very pointing out.
You got it.
It was those nations. That's why the aircraft carrier needed is for those nations that are around them that want to see that those people out of that land,
right?
That support Hamas in their campaign, like Iraq and Lebanon and Jordan and all these other nations that are around those nations that are in the conflict. And that's why the aircraft carrier.
You know why Hamas was started? Hamas was started to stop the aggression of the Israelis in, I think, the 1940s or 50s. They were started because the Israelis kept taking more and more land and more land and more land. And those people them people had a army.
I thought they split from like the PLO.
Yeah, like the Palestinian.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah,
that's what I was.
But the point is,
looking at it today.
Yeah, it's something like something like that. You could get me right. Right.
Right. I was looking at something today, and it was saying that they got split. They was originally with the PLO, the
Palestinian Liberation Organization. Go ahead.
And then they split from that PLO.
I'm sure.
Because I guess Hamas was a bit more extreme than the PLO. Where it go. So. And
a lot of times, people like Hamas is needed.
Right.
You know why? Because who's to say that the PLO wasn't compromised?
There you go. Right.
Compromised because that's what America does. America will take out the government and put in a proxy government.
Yeah.
America will they'll take money, they'll take guns, they'll take everything, they'll fund the guerrillas.
Right. Yeah.
Then when the guerrillas overthrow the government, then that's when then America and all these Western governments will say, look, that's a terrorist group right there. That's a terrorist group right in there. Then you go get the guerrillas that you gave the guns and the bullets to. Come on, man. How many times have we seen this? How many times have we seen this? Right? If you could find hold on 1 second, y'all. I gotta find this real quick, right? So your president, Joe Biden. Can you see if you can find me a video of him saying that he's seen babies being beheaded?
Joe Biden. You said Joe Biden saying it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it, y'all. I want to show you something. I want to show you something. Okay. All right. So that brother is going to I just need a video of Joe Biden saying and when I seen this video of him saying that he's seen pictures of babies being beheaded, by Hamas. It's just so tragic and atrocious. I knew he was lying. I also knew he was lying when he had that sit down with Benjamin Netanyahu right after they bombed the hospital with 500 people in it. And he said, I know you didn't do it. That was a lie. Anybody who knows anything or who's been around people or who just from the streets can tell that was a lie. All right. So, of course, shout out to everybody that's in the chat while the brother is getting that video for me. Kaya, shout out. Kaya Bath, shout out. Itara, checking in, shout out. Kimmy and Laba. All right. If anybody has any questions, again, like I said, type them in the chat. All right. Was you able to find the video?
They only giving me
no, it's cool.
The clarification video where they saying that Biden
he did not see it. That's what
trying to clarify, saying that he didn't mean it or didn't.
No, you didn't mean it.
Biden didn't see images of beheaded children.
Right.
That's all I'm getting there.
Look, and this is how so deceptive. Give me that scripture where it says, be sober, be vigilant of the devil. He's try to devour you. Because, and of course, we couldn't get the video, y'all, but I'll just go ahead and tell you what the videos, what happened. So right after supposedly Hamas had attacked Israel on October the 7th, after that attack, within that, because the fight's been going on for about 3 weeks, we're going into the 4th week. So I believe this had to be maybe within the 1st week or the 2nd week. Joe Biden came out and said that he's seen the pictures. It ain't no, you didn't mean to say that. You're the president of the United States. What they call it, POTUS. P-O-T-U-S. President of the United States.
Right.
And you mean to tell me that you can just get up there and misspeak like that?
Right.
You can get up there and say something so crazy.
Right.
And then all of a sudden people come and say, oh, no, he just misspoke. No, that is a lie.
Right.
And that is the devil at work.
Damn right.
Devil doesn't mean somebody with a pitchfork. It means liar or deceiver. And we just watched the John movie. Oh, it's like, you know what it is? Could you move the incense over?
Oh,
it's the incense. So like it, y'all. Damn, I'm big screen right now. They probably like, nigga.
I'm very focused.
Yeah, you tripping right now. So like it, y'all. Take that on. They're like, nigga, we don't want to see you like that. All right, so what you got that scripture for me?
Come on, sir.
All right, let's get it.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, chapter 5, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Be sober, be vigilant.
Be what?
Be sober, be vigilant.
All right, now I'm gonna ask a question real quick. In the chat, when it says to be sober and to be vigilant, when it says to be sober and be vigilant, what does that mean? What does that mean, to be sober and to be vigilant? Yeah, Kana, you're right. You're definitely right, Kana. And it's propaganda, right? It's propaganda. If you, I'm gonna get to your comment in 1 second, Kana, but you're definitely correct. That's where I'm going. So Kimmy says to be alert. Kaya Bob says to be aware. to Zion says not to drink beer. Salaki. But y'all are correct, right? It means to be clear-headed, right? It means to be clear-headed. Not only to be clear-headed, but to keep your head on the swivel, right? To pay attention. Mm-hmm. And this is advice, right? This is advice for the children of Israel. This is something that I'm giving you advice right now, early in the program. I'm already giving you advice. Right? Be sober, be clear-minded, be vigilant, meaning keep your head on the swivel, pay attention. Right? Don't be walking around with your eyes wide shut. What they say? Sleep with your eyes wide open. Be sleep with your eyes wide open, man. Now it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. Paul said it the best. He said, now it's high time for us to wake out of sleep. That means what? To be vigilant. Read on.
Because your adversary, the devil.
The who?
The devil.
Our adversary. Now I know black people don't like to hear this, Mataziala, because we just want to be friends with everybody.
Right.
We want to love everybody. We think everybody love us.
Right.
But on contraire, mon frère, we have an adversary.
Right.
And the adversary is called what?
The devil.
It's called the devil. Now, the devil is not something that's supernatural. You can look at I think it was what was that called? What was that? Where we get that? Dante's Inferno. Oh. Don't read Dante's Inferno and think that's where the devil comes from. The concept of the devil is in Dante's Inferno. That is mythical, made up. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, black man, Hispanic man, the devil, read on.
As a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
He's seeking who he may devour, right? What is this devil doing? This devil is going to try and lie to you. He's going to try to deceive you. Why? So that he can devour you, so he can overtake you, right? So he can make you weak. And then he can come in and eat you up, devour you like a lion. Now, isn't this, why is this doing this today? They on my
You using hand signals?
Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I was using hand signals. That's usually to Zion thing. The hand signals. Okay. So the devil, what he gonna do, right? The Bible telling you what the devil gonna do. He gonna lie to you, so that he can devour you. Isn't that what we seen with Joe Biden? Now, see, we understand to be sober and to be vigilant, right? We knew that Joe Biden was going to be no different than Hillary Clinton. We knew that Joe Biden wasn't going to be no different than who else? Give me some of the worst ones out there. Barack Obama,
George Clinton,
Donald Trump. Which one put the drugs in? Ronald Reagan, George Bush, all of them.
Both of them.
The daddy and the son. We knew that because we understand that the scriptures told us to be vigilant. But this man who stood up in front of the whole earth, right? Because everybody watches our media. He stood up in front of the whole earth and told a lie. He sat up in the whole earth and told a lie. Why? Because when somebody of that magnitude, the president, right? If he gets up there and say, this is what I seen pictures of babies being beheaded and babies being unalived. The average person that's watching that is just going to be like, oh my God, that is just so horrible. We got to go in. I support everything that you do. Let's go. And then, so then they garnish all of the support that they need for their genocide of the Palestinian people. But then a week later, this is what they do, Mataji. They come out and say, well, you know what? That wasn't true. But the damage has already been done. You see what I'm saying? That story has been allowed to circulate for a whole week, 2 weeks
right.
before you come out and denounce it and say it's not true. But how come we don't see that plastered all on the screens? Like as when we seen, you know, when they showed him saying that. When they showed him saying that, they showed it on every news channel. They showed it back to back. Back to back. Why? So it can be ingrained in your mind that this is what's happening over there. But then when they say it's not true, that, you know, he really didn't see those pictures, then you only get a little tiny news article. You get a little small news article, and if you're not up on it, you'll miss that. You'll miss the devil being the devil. Right? Also, another thing that Joe Biden said, right? And this is how you know that Joe Biden is not for the black man. Joe Biden is not for the Hispanic or for the Native American Indian. You know, the biggest group of people that voted for him. He's not for you. I have a quote from Joe Biden, right? I can't remember who he was talking to. I'm sure this video is online. Y'all can look it up. I'm not gonna have it, brother.
I think I might have found it. Sir.
You found the video?
I think I might have found the one that you originally was calling for.
Oh, let's get it. Let's get it. You got it.
If I may,
yeah.
Please,
shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I'm gonna show y'all a couple of videos. I'm gonna make sure he get those first. Make sure the brother get those first. You got it. Yeah, India.
Right, it's a big statement coming in. US President Joe Biden has condemned the reports of beheading of children. He says that never thought we'll see such pictures. Joe Biden has confirmed, remember, this is the US president's statement coming in, that the terrorists beheaded children too. And he's referring to the Hamas terrorists, with reports coming in, who also not only killed them in cold blood in their crib, in their beds, in southern Israel areas, but even beheaded some of the children. Reports are revealed that Hamas beheaded over 40 children. Remember, in the past 2 days, there have been shocking reports that have come in that little children, and while young girls were taken captive, look at that crib on your screen, which is for the little babies, infants and toddlers. They were thrown out, thrown away. Many of these were found broken. Strollers were thrown out as well, reflective that this was a family location, a residential area with many children around. Literally a massacre that took place. And with reports coming in,
yeah.
US
and you see it says Biden confirmed
the beheading of children as reports have served.
Yeah, you too are. It said Biden condemned it. That he condemned these pictures. That he's seen these pictures that he never thought he would ever see such horror in his life. What pictures was you looking at? Because a week later, then it comes out that you're a liar. And this is like, clap your hands, black people. This is who you voted for. Right. This is who you wanted to rule over top of you. Right? This is who black people wanted to rule over top of them. A filthy, stinking liar. Right? Because that's what he is. I mean, call a spade a spade. Right. Also, this is just a sidebar. Look, man, I found 2 great books. I don't know if y'all can see these, but this is 2 great books to have in your arsenal. Because all of a sudden now I'm starting to see videos, right? The Jewish Confederates and then Haven of Liberty. Grab these books before they cost too much money. Grab them before they're $80,000. This one shows slavery in the North, of course, Jewish led. This is slavery in the South. Okay, these are 2 good books. Why? Because when it comes to our history is allowed to be rewritten. If we talk about our history the way other people talk about their history, people are allowed to challenge us. They're allowed to say, no, that didn't really happen. No, we didn't really do that. Oh man, you tripping. But if you can't criticize or critique anybody else's horrible acts done to them, you can't critique or examine that. Because if you do, then it's like it's something being hidden out there, right? It's like there are certain events that happen in history that if you go to try to examine them, they're going to tell you that, you know, they'll start to label you names because you're examining this stuff because there's somebody who doesn't want you to understand the truth. Right, but that's what we all about here. The Israelites School of UPK is all about the truth. We don't give a damn about no channel getting shut down, man. You cannot shut us down for telling the truth. You shut me down for telling the truth, I'm going to put another channel up and continue to fight. Why? Because the scripture says the truth endureth. The truth is strong.
Right.
It's gonna conquer. Right. That's what the scripture said.
That's what the scripture said.
So y'all make sure y'all get this book, right? Y'all make sure y'all get these books. This right here is fairly cheap right now.
Haven of Liberty.
Haven of Liberty is fairly cheap right now. Y'all make sure y'all get these books. I'm gonna show y'all the rest. I got some heat, so I'm gonna show y'all the rest. If I can find my bag, or I'll bring the rest Thursday, right? So y'all make sure y'all get that. So now, a lot of times you'll hear Hamas being compared to ISIS. You have to learn what these terms are, right? Because they're comparing Hamas to another terrorist organization. This terrorist organization that they're comparing Hamas to is called ISIS. Now, I have a video, right? And if somebody reminds me, of course, it's not on this computer, but I do have a video. It's from C-SPAN, or y'all can look it up. It's on C-SPAN. It's a video from the 80s or very early 90s. And what the guy is explaining is, or what he's asking is, he's saying, we wanted to know what the word ISIS meant. Like, okay, we know that in America, we have the FBI, we have the CIA, we have our certain organizations. What would be the equivalent of the CIA or the FBI in Israel? And this is an Edomite. He said, now what they came up with, or what they was able to surmise from the information that they have, is that ISIS is the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. Let me say that again, because I might have blew your mind with that. Whenever you see ISIL forces, it says Israeli Secret Intelligence Services. That's ISIS. It's literally ISIS. And how do we? And it's not so far. It's not like it's hard to be believed, Mataji, that they would dress up as Arabs. Isn't that the first? Right, the first terrorist attack. And I'm using the word terrorist because, you know, they usually associate bombs with terror, right? So the first bombing of a people was the King David Hotel. You may. Right. I'm sure we did a video on this years ago. This is all out there. Y'all can research this, man. Write this stuff down so y'all can research it on your own time. Plenty of videos. There's a black and white video out about it, where the King David Hotel is where this terrorist organization named the Ergon. What they did was they dressed up like Arabs. And guess what they did? They bombed the King David Hotel. But they dressed up like Arabs and did it. And the reason why they bombed the King David Hotel was because the King David Hotel, remember at that time, Palestine wasn't owned by the little hats. Palestine was owned by the British. Remember, the British was there in Palestine at that time. And they had control over Palestine. And so what the Ergon did, right, a group of Israeli terrorists, what they did was they bombed the King David Hotel, because this is where a lot of British people were at. Right. At that time. Right. And that's what they did. They bombed it. It's a terrorist organization. ISIS, Ergon. Y'all make sure y'all remember these terms, because these are the people that run Israel right now. And these are the people who, okay, of course, run Israel, but are in control of America. All right. So, okay. Anybody in the chat, what is a Zionist? What is a Zionist? It's hot up in this bad boy.
Hot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
woo. It's nah, you good.
Okay.
It's good for the soul. What is a Zionist? Could you give me that term? Could you look up? Could you look it up in the dictionary, maybe? Throughout it. Because another thing that your president said was he said that he believes he is Zionist. He said if he was Jewish, he would be a Zionist. That's what Joe Biden said. So you can't shut my channel down because he said it. Right? This is what your president said. Zionist. What is a Zionist, or what is Zionism?
All right. Zionist. I have Zionist. Zionist is a supporter of Zionism, a person who believes in the development and protection of a Jewish nation in what is now Israel.
Right. So a Zionist is somebody who was fighting for a Jewish nation or a Jewish homeland. Salaki. Hold on. Salaki.
Mm-hmm.
Shalom, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. So, Zionism. Right. Zionism is just someone who supports them having their own nation state.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is them that and mind you, everybody that's out there, everything that I'm talking about can be Googled. You know, we have the books here.
All right.
I got the books here that I'm about to show you. Right. So it's anything and everything that I'm saying is not hatred towards a certain group of people. Right. I'm not sure if y'all can see these books. Screenshot them. I'm gonna show you what's in them. I'm gonna just show you what's going on. Right. And this book right here, you can't. I'll show you the side of it. Hold on. Can they see that? It say
African Zion.
That's what it say. Now this book explains how. Before.
That's African Zion. Yeah.
Right. African Zion. So this book right here explains that. Remember, before they were given the land of Israel, that actually they were proposed to be given Uganda. The British forces or whoever it was, they were trying to give them Uganda. They were going to take land from African people. So they were going to take land from African people, of course, give it to them so that they can have this national homeland. But they were like, no, right? One of the main guys that we're going to go into name is Theodore Herzl. Theodore Herzl was one of the main guys that said, no, we don't want that land. We want Israel, of course. And he's the father of Zionism. He's the father of Zionism, right? And that's what we're going to go ahead and examine, right? And again, this is not an attack on anybody. This is us examining history.
Right.
Okay. This is us examining history. This says this book is called Diaspora, the post-biblical history of Jews. This is we're just examining history. This book right here says a history of Israel. That's it. That's all we're doing.
This is for educational
educational purposes only. Nothing in this program is malicious, a malicious attack towards any other group. All right. So the people that we see today, right? What's going on in the war is because there's one group of people saying that this is my land, which is the Palestinians. Then you have another group, which is the Israelis, that are saying, you know, this land belongs to us. Look, the Lord gave it to us. The land belongs to us. And actually, we have proof that the land actually belongs to us.
Right. Period. Right.
To the people of the earth who have no voice. Right? Because we don't have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
The Palestinians, what's happening to them is tragic. Right? But guess what's going on? Everybody recognizes that this is tragic.
Right, right.
The whole earth is recognizing that this is tragic. There is boycotts upon boycotts and protests upon protests going on because they understand, they recognize these people. Mm-hmm. But when Black people were dying dead and getting shot or being unalived, we didn't have this big protest like this earthly worldwide protest.
Right.
We didn't have that. Even though Hamas is being called a terrorist group, the Palestinians still have somebody that's willing to protect them.
Right.
See what I'm saying? They still have somebody that's from their own people, their own blood, their own stock, their own race that's willing to step up and protect them. Mm-hmm. A little army, should I say. Mm-hmm. The Black man in America does not have that same protection. We don't have that same army. We literally believe that Joe Biden is our protector. The very man that will get up in front of everybody and lie. Not like they haven't lied before.
Right.
But this is just a blatant one.
Right.
And that's who our protection is. Joe Biden is who we have to rely on. You got it.
No, I was going to say, like, when you brought up about that, about them being a terrorist organization, and they still have nations. These are nations. He's saying they still have people to protect them, but these are nations. These are world governments. These are countries mm-hmm. that are in support of this quote unquote who is labeled a terrorist organization. You know what I'm saying? And they still and the world still goes on like there ain't nothing. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But let us say we're the real Jews and whatnot. Look, the whole world got shut down. You know, the whole world got ready to stop and say, look, you can't be saying that. You know
right. And it proves who you are.
Right.
And one thing that I was looking at, right? There's a quote out there. There's a quote out there on the internet. You'll see it. It says, you can tell who rules over top of you. Hold on. How does the quote go?
About who you can't
criticize. Right. And just so now, because that statement is true, now what you have is you have people on the internet saying, well, this guy was a racist. Mm-hmm. So good job, guys. You quoting somebody that's a racist, regardless of what his lifestyle is. That quote stands true.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what he believes in. That quote stands true, that you can't criticize the people who are over top of you. Right? But Zionism is a political movement. Right? It's a political movement. Just like, let's say, Democrat, Republican. Mm-hmm. It's not a biblical movement. It's not a bloodline movement. It's not anything like that. It's simply a political movement, right? This political movement was started by someone named Theodore Herzl. Let me see if I got something real quick. I think I might be Oh, and y'all got to get this right here too. I got all these books for like $2, for stuff like that. You have this. This is something. This you have to get this right. A guidebook to Jewish genealogy. You can't. I mean, can't get around that, right? And one thing that I wanted to read was on, I believe it's page 92. So I wanted to. I wanted to read something to you because one thing that you'll see this from Dr. Abramson, and what is the other doctor's name? They have history channels on YouTube. Of course, they are little hats, right? And they have history channels. And these are the issues that they talk about. So one time, I'm watching them, and he's talking about Khazars, and he's saying that it's not true. He said that the Khazar theory is not true. Hold on 1 second, y'all. So what we'll do is we'll show this. So we'll talk about these Khazars real quick, right? And then I'll jump on Theodore Herzl, because it's all gonna make sense. What you'll notice is the Khazars came from a specific region, and the Khazars came from a specific region, which is now called, the Crimea, part of Russia. It's called the Ukraine. If you look at the symbol that Zelensky wears on his sweatshirt, it's the same symbol that the Khazars had. If you just type in the word Khazar, is it Targum? Tangum, Targum? Type in Khazar Targum.
I think it's Targum.
Type in Khazar Targum. You'll see this symbol. That symbol is the same symbol that Zelensky wears. That's the same symbol of Ukraine today, right? That's the same symbol of the Khazars that was in that area, right? And so the Khazars, the reason why I'm talking about the Khazars, I think Captain Khazars went into it the other day, a little bit briefly, in Chosen People of the Caucasus. But the reason why the Khazars, right, is so much of a hot topic is because this was a big group of people. It was a large group of people, and somehow it's been omitted from history. This large group of people is not being talked about, right? And this large group of people is not being talked about because they're the ancestors of the people today, right? So if I could, real quick, I want you to read something for me.
They are known as the serpent people.
Yes. Yes.
You said. You said.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to. I need you to read something for me real quick. We're gonna read that paragraph. I got the dots next to them, so I can. We'll read this first paragraph, and then we'll start at that dot right there. Read down. Okay. So, who are the people that we're dealing with today? Do the Palestinians have the right to fight for that land? Do Israelis have the right to fight for that land? Do we do know that the word Palestine, right, is a Greek word for Philistine. Palestine, let me say this again. Palestine is a Greek word for Philistine. Who were the Philistines? You know who the Philistines were? Taziala?
Wasn't they Ham?
Ham. So then already they have a name of a people that's not like they're taking on the name of a people that was there, just like the other group, right? Just like the Israelis are taking on a name of a people that was there, right? But neither one of these people are taking on their true identity,
right.
Neither if everybody knew their true identity, then we would understand that this conflict, right? It's just like what the Bible says. It says that thou has parted out my land.
Right.
Right. The land has been parted out, but the land has been parted out by people, conquerors of the land.
Right.
Right. People who don't have a natural claim to it. But one thing that we have to get over as Israelites is we have to understand that Israel is the people. So Israel is wherever the people are at. Understand that land right there is, of course, the land that you will be in one day. It is the land that you will be in one day, but understand that Israel is the people.
Yeah, right.
Israel's us. Israel is in America. Israel's in South America. Israel's in Jamaica. Israel's in all four corners of the earth.
Right.
The Israelites will not be in that land until the Lord puts us in that land.
Period.
Can't no other country fight for you and put you in the land or nothing like that. It's going to be something happens, an event happens, and that's how we're going to get back into the land. But we can let's read about these Khazars real quick, y'all. Because remember, this is coming from, what is the book? The name of the book?
This book is called Finding Our Fathers, a guidebook to Jewish genealogy.
A guidebook to what?
Jewish genealogy.
Okay, there we go.
Dan Rottenberg.
Right, there we go. So it's nothing that we're doing is malicious. We're only examining the text. All right. You got it, whatever.
And it's on page 44. One of the most bizarre episodes in Jewish history concerns the Khazars.
Let's okay, when we see that word right there, let's change it to like J. Everybody know what we're talking about.
Which one?
When we see the word. Yeah. We'll just try to change it up a little bit.
Even if we're reading from the book.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I'm gonna just do it this time. I don't know. I'll just get clarification. But even if we reading from the book, because I've like all of the times before that I've got strikes and I've got flags and stuff like that, I was still reading from the book.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
true. And then I get a call, I got 2 flags. Hey, you gotta lighten up a little bit.
Right.
So
all right, come.
So anytime you hear him say the J's, or let's even say little hats.
Little hat, right.
The little hats, right? When you say little hats, you already know what time it is.
Come.
All right.
One of the most this is Finding Our Fathers, a guidebook to Jewish genealogy by Dan Rottenberg, page 44. It says the Khazar connection.
The Khazar connection. Go ahead.
That's the name of the chapter.
One
of the most bizarre episodes in the Little Hat history concerns the Khazars, a nomadic Turkish people.
Right? Go ahead.
Who appeared in Transcaucasia in the 2nd century CE.
Right. So they were in Transcaucasia, right? Caucasians. Go ahead.
And later settled in southern Russia between the Volga and Don rivers.
Right. And so they were conquered by Slavs from Russia, or however they say it, slaves from Russia, Russians.
The Volga and the Don rivers. About the year 700, they conquered the Crimea and established a huge empire that ruled or exacted tribute from perhaps a dozen other lands. Right. So they established their land in the Crimea. Right? Isn't that what Ukraine is all about right now? Isn't that what the war is about over the Crimea? The Crimea, yeah,
right.
Isn't that in Russia? That's in Russia.
It's either in Russia. It's something like that, right? But remember that the Times of Israel put out an article. Y'all Google it. Don't take nothing that I say for face value. It says that leaked report. This is what it says. You got to type in that part first. It says leaked report. Jews, in fact, Khazars. Let me see. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Leaked report. Leaked report. Israel acknowledges Jews, in fact, Khazars. Secret migration back to Ukraine. That's from the Times of Israel. Y'all go to the Times of Israel. Y'all find that this article is from like 2015, man. I had this when I first came into the school. Right? Leaked report. Israel acknowledges Jews, in fact, Khazars. All right. You got some more on that?
You wanted all.
That was the second.
You wanted all 3 bullet points that were.
Oh no, you could jump up to the next one on.
You only wanted the 1 bullet point.
The one, and then the second one.
All right, I didn't do the second one.
Okay.
Because the Khazars were a pagan, warlike people.
They were what?
The Khazars were a pagan, warlike people.
Right. They were a pagan people. And when you say, like, okay, if you have a pagan people, right, and you want them to convert to your religion, what do? You entice them with more paganism. You give them a religion with paganism in it. You find a way to include their paganism in it. Right? And so now we understand that these pagan people, because, right, all we have to do is just use the example from Christianity. When Christians at a specific time, in order for Christians to be able to gain more people into that religion, they had to incorporate paganism. They had to incorporate paganism to get pagans, or people that are idol worshipers, people that don't worship the one true God. Y'all know how I go. So these Khazars were pagan. Mm-hmm. And then they were presented with a pagan religion. So it made sense. It made sense to the Kagan. Right? You got it.
But in 740, the king of the Khazars astonished the world by embracing Judaism.
By doing what?
By embracing Judaism.
Mm-hmm. Read on.
And most of the upper classes of the kingdom followed his example. The Khazar kingdom thus became the only nation in the history of the world, aside from Israel, whose state religion was Judaism.
Whose state religion was Judaism, right? Go to the right.
Arthur Koestler.
Right, so Arthur Koestler, right? Arthur Koestler is we have that book up here somewhere. So like he is an author. He is an author of the 13th tribe. And so what he is saying is, he understands that in the nation of Israel, there's only 12 tribes.
Right.
But if his people, remember his name is Arthur Koestler, right? So if his people are Israelites, then they have to be a 13th tribe. There has to be a 13th tribe if him and his people are Israelites. And this is what Arthur Koestler said in his book.
Arthur Koestler in the 13th tribe makes a tantalizing case for this viewpoint.
Mm-hmm. Tantalizing. They use the word tantalizing. Go ahead.
He notes that after the breakup of the Khazar kingdom, settlements of Khazars were mentioned in the Crimea.
Right, they were mentioned in the Crimea. Go ahead.
The Ukraine.
The what?
The Ukraine.
The Crimea and the what?
The Ukraine.
The Ukraine. Read on.
Hungary.
Poland.
And Lithuania.
All
areas, he says, where the greatest concentrations of Jews were at the dawn of the modern age.
So at the dawn of the modern age, the biggest concentration of little hats was in these regions.
Right.
In Poland, Lithuania, Russia, Ukraine, Crimea, Hungary, Austria. All of these places right here were lands that Khazars came from. Guess who comes from Austria and Hungary? Let me show you something right here. Guess who comes from?
I know Austria. I know that one.
Austria.
I know
I'm
who
trying
comes
to.
from, I know who comes from Austria.
Who come from Austria?
Hitler comes from Austria.
He come from Austria?
Kinda.
Oh man, that makes sense. Remember his last name is not really Hitler. It was Schicklgruber.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
His last name was Adolf Schicklgruber. Right? And so when you look at
What was that?
Schicklgruber. Adolf Schicklgruber.
Was it
Schicklgruber. Yeah, Adolf Schicklgruber. Yeah, y'all look this stuff up, man. Look, we ain't just talking for our health in here.
Right.
We understand the Lord blessed us with research skills down here.
Man, right.
Right. So let me show you something. Let me see if I can pull this in real quick. I'm gonna share my screen, and I just want to show y'all something real quick. I'm gonna show you somebody who came from Austria and Hungary, the land of the Khazars.
Or would you talking more modern?
Huh?
You talking more modern?
What's that? As far as
who you hear show us? Somebody?
Yeah, it's still from the 19th or 20th century, something like that. I think he was like in 1890 something. The father, but can you see what I'm looking at?
Not on my screen.
Okay, so I might have to do it like, how do I do this? Boom, boom, boom. Let me see something real quick, y'all. Y'all bear with me, man. I got all the research skills, but boom, there we go. They can see that, right? Can you?
I think something's coming up. Yeah.
You can see me. Can I do it like that?
It's small.
It's small.
I'm gonna try to make my screen bigger. Let me try to see if I
can they see it the way I see it right now?
Concert.
Okay, they should see it this way, y'all.
That's the way it is on their screen.
Okay, so I got this right here. Y'all make sure y'all do screenshots. Y'all make sure y'all remember who these people are, right? Because these are big figures. So Theodor Herzl, you see his birthday. He was where was he? Where was he? He was an Austro-Hungarian. Isn't this where the Khazars came from? They came from Austria. They came from Hungary. He's a little hat journalist and political activist who was the father. The what? The father. The what? The father of modern political Zionism. So when you hear these terms, Zionism, remember Joe Biden said he was a Zionist. He said he would be a Zionist if he was a little hat. Understand that ideology comes from this guy right here. Salakia. They probably like, man, you all up in the screen. So understand, y'all know that. So now y'all know the terms, right? Y'all know the name of the person who started what is called Zionism, right? And which is people who believe that they should have a national homeland for their people. Right now, go ahead back to the Khazars. We know that the Khazars came directly from the land that he was born in. He's a Khazar. I'm gonna just give it to you the short end. I'm gonna give it to you for time's sake. He's a Khazar. So political Zionism now is null and void, right? Because now you have somebody who started a movement who's from a race or a group of people who has nothing to do with the people who own that land, meaning the Israelites. Read on.
Calm down. The common belief is that the little hats of Eastern Europe migrated there from France, Germany, and Italy. But Kostler notes that the number of little hats in Poland and Lithuania in the 17th century has been estimated at 500,000.
Right, so they had about 500,000 people over there, right? A lot of people, go ahead.
Whereas only a fraction of that number lived in France, Germany, and Italy during the preceding centuries.
Right, so during the preceding centuries, right before that preceded, Jewish people lived where? Where they say a little bit of them lived there.
Only a fraction of that.
Only a fraction of them
lived in France, Germany,
and Italy
during the preceding centuries.
What now? I'm gonna just give this to you for time's sake. Y'all write this down. There was a family at this same time. We're talking about the Khazars, right? We're talking about the Khazars and how the Khazars is in, Poland, Russia, and all this, Ukraine, and all this stuff. At this same time, in the 7th century, you have a family that came out of Rome, that came out of Italy, that was called the Colonimus family. It was called the Colonimus. Let me see if I can pull that one up. Y'all forgive me. It might be Colonimus. It might be a lot of Colonimus. Might be a lot of information that I'm giving you, but I'm trying to give it to you so that you won't have to. So you know what's going on, right? And you don't have to wonder, well, is it true? Who are these people? This and that. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen one more time, right? I'm gonna share my screen one more time. I have to give you this part, right? I have to give you this part real quick. Because these are terms that once I started learning this stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Now everything makes sense. All of the pieces of the puzzle make sense. So at the same time that you have, this, I'm in there. Can they see me? So at the same time that the Khazars are on the scene, right? All of the little hats wasn't Khazars. Let me tell you that. They all wasn't Khazars, and Khazars is just a term, right? Because people, the names change over time. Now, at the same time, you have this family called the Colonimus family. How do I get over there? How do I get over there so I can, I want to click on this. Am I doing this right? So okay, y'all bear with me. Am I doing this right?
You scared the screen, right?
I want to, but it looked like it was. So I want to.
Once you share the screen, you got to go to the tab.
Present.
To
I want to share my screen
on there and all that.
You know what I want to do?
You're trying to scroll or make it bigger?
I wanted to make that bigger. I wanted them to be able to see that.
Once you share the screen, you have to hit on the tab to make sure that you're on that tab to operate the functions on that tab.
So this one right here, boom. So I hit this, right?
Now that you're on, look like you're on the tab.
Now I got to go back on the tab.
Yeah, now you can do what you got to do
So why is it showing it that way and not like this?
You have 2 tabs open.
Oh, I got 2 tabs for it. There we go. Brother got to get me right. See, all the research skills in the world, no technical. All right. So now let me show you who the Colonimus family is, y'all. There we go. The water for y'all rocking out with me. Can I see that? I mean, why?
I can see. You want where the stone picture is at? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing.
Oh, you see the whole? Oh, because I can't really see that. Okay. It looks different for me. How does that look? Can you see the whole Wikipedia?
Kind of, sir. Yep. Let me see. Let me make sure it's on YouTube.
Cause I can't, how do I get to the, I'm trying to move up and down so I can read this page.
You
see how mine look?
Go on the tab and scroll up and down the page.
But where do I get to the tab? Because this is view tab. Hold on. Like that, right?
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Now they looking at what I'm looking at.
Back to the other one.
Okay. Now they seeing what I'm seeing.
Right.
Hold on. Is they?
Yeah. That's what you're sharing right now. Now go back to the other tab. There you go. Now
That's the one that I'm sharing. Salakia, y'all. Hey, I'm bugging. Salakia, y'all. All right. So let me make sure that y'all can see what I'm seeing.
You may have to close out one of those ones that you got open so that you don't get confused.
Okay. But so once I click this, this is what they see right here.
You need to close out because that's not the one that you have sharing. That you're not sharing.
So close this one out.
You're not sharing that.
Okay.
You're sharing that right there.
I'm sharing this right here.
Concept.
And this is what they can see.
That's what they can see. That's not what they can see. The one where it said Kalanimus family.
Yeah.
That's not what they can see. The one where they were.
That's what they can see.
That's not what they can see. The one where you can show the stone face. That's what they can see. That right there.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So I get y'all. That's my fault. All right. So
that ain't it either.
That's not it.
Go back one. So I
it's like when I click on
it.
It's like when I click on it. It's like
right there. That's the one they can see.
It's that, but
that's the one.
I'm trying to like actually click on that. Hold on. I think I know what I gotta do.
Yeah, that's the one that's showing.
That's the one that's showing. So what I have to do is I have to go back to my stream. Salakia, y'all. Bear with me. It's gonna be worth it. The Kalanimus family. Now that looks like what I need to be looking at. That looks about right there. That looks about right there. By golly, I think we got it.
Man, now you got it. Man.
The Kalanimus family.
Yeah, that's what you kept trying to.
Yeah, here we go, man. Look, just give me some time. I got y'all. Right. So the Kalanimus family. Right. So the Kalanimus family is a prominent little hat family who lived in Italy, mostly in Lucca and in Rome. Right. So they were Romans. Period. I don't care if you say you from Italy, where the hell. Look, you from that boot. You from the boot.
You're a Roman.
You're a Roman. Which after the settlement at Mainz and Speyer of several of its members took during many generations a leading part in the development of a Jewish learning in Germany. The family is, according to many, considered the foundation of Hakmai province and the Ashkenazi Hasidim. They are the founders of the Ashkenazi Hasidic movement. Y'all know who to say. Y'all know to say the Hasidic movement, right? So this is the Kalanimus family. The Kalanimus family, when you look at it, you can actually find. I just wanted to tell you who they were, right? I just used this to show you who they were. If you want to know what they really did, you will find that in the Talmud. You'll find that in the Talmud. You'll find out that the Kalanimus family, right, was when you're going to hear of this term. It's called the bottleneck theory. And so this is how Little Hats explain how the Israelites turned black and how they turned white over time. So what they tell you is they were black. The Israelites, they will tell you that the Israelites were black. The dude name is Dr. Abramson or something like that. They'll tell you that the Israelites started off black, but around the 7th century, the 8th and 7th century, you'll see this family that came out of Rome, Italy, and how this family went up into, Eastern Europe and became like the Hasidic movement. You know, the Hasidic movement is the ones that wear the all black. They got the curls. They got the hat. They'd be the ones at the Wailing Wall, at the wall over there, copulating with Shekinah. That's called Davening. That's them, right? And that's how they explain. That's literally how they explain how the Israelites turn black, how they turn white from black, and they use the Colonimus family as that, right? And the Colonimus family, you can read more about it actually in the Talmud. It's crazy. So they're Roman converts. We know that they're Roman converts. And somehow these are supposed to be the people of the Bible. Look what I'm telling you. The Colonimus family. When you bring up that family, and then you're going to start seeing people shuffle papers around like you ain't even got nothing to do. You just start shuffling papers around like, God damn, how the hell are you know about that? The Colonimus family went into Eastern Europe. The Khazars was in Eastern Europe, right? Where is the biggest concentration of the biggest concentration of little hats? Where do they come from? Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe. Could you finish reading that? What you got right there? I got two more sources that I want to bring out. The brother I seen real quick. Kimmy said that Israel started Hamas to counterbalance the PLO. The personal God was Lucifer. Is that why Revelations 2:9 could be a precept? Revelations 2:9 definitely is a precept. These people do worship Lucifer. They do worship the serpent. Meaning they call themselves the serpent people. I think that the Khazarians at one time was the serpent people. Okay. And Black Salt says, is all Israelites from another planet? Nick, I'm not even going to entertain that. I'm not going to waste my time on that. What? Because that, it sounds like somebody smoking in the house. Right. Smoking like, yo, use what color is a mirror? Like, what? All right, what else you got right there for the Khazars? Because I got two more things.
Finish this out.
And
that bullet, it's just that one bullet point that you wanted on that page, on that side.
Yeah, and then let's go to the part that's underlined for time's sake.
And the part that's underlined. So
the guy that's reading the guy that wrote this book, because a lot of times when you bring up the Khazars, people are going to tell you that that's a lie. They're going to tell you that that's a lie. They're going to tell you that's just a theory. They're going to tell you that that's been debunked. But this is a little hat. This is somebody from their nationality who has done his research. And one thing that you'll see is in that book, he says that all you have to do is just go to this. All you have to do is go to the encyclopedia, the Jewish encyclopedia. Just go to the encyclopedia, right? And it's not like we're trying to bash anybody. We're literally reading books that wasn't written by us. We're literally reading books that was written by the people who have a problem with it. You should have wrote it. You should have wrote it. I think that people didn't expect us to start reading.
Right.
Right. Yeah. But you can't get around the fact that Khazars are a real people, because it is something that's handed down orally. People being Khazars is an oral tradition. Like, these people have passed it down. Could you read that part right there on page, wherever that is, 95? Tell the people where you at, and it's underlined. It's like 3 lines right there. That's
on page 45.
Or 45, Salaki, 45.
For example, a branch of my wife's family named Tamarin from Russia.
Right, he said a branch of his wife's family name is Tamarin, and they're from Russia. Read on.
maintains that the family came into Judaism via the
They came into Judaism
via the Khazar.
They
conversion.
came into Judaism, meaning they were not. They knew that they were not Jews, but they came into the religion via the what?
Via the Khazar conversion.
Via the Khazar conversion. Look, this is. Hey, I got a genealogy book. This is from the genealogy book.
Right.
Literally from the genealogy book. You cannot get around that this was a real people. And the guy that's doing the genealogy on his people understands that his wife understands that she knows that she's a Khazar because her parents told her that. Her parents told her that she's a Khazar. Of course, now she's a little hat, but of course, she can claim Judaism through their Khazarian conversion. Right? That's crazy. This is literally in this book right here. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? It's like bomb. I wish I had that bomb. Boom. Wow. Read on. You got any more on that?
It says that the family into Judaism via the Khazar conversion, and that the family took its name from Tamara, Queen of Georgia, in the 13th century.
Okay. Now, you could drop that. That's one book, right? Y'all make sure y'all get that book. I'm going to show y'all 3. The Talmud. Yes, I believe they did write the Talmud because we would have no need to write that. Why would we write about? We understand even in our wickedness, we know we ain't supposed to be molesting children. Even in our wickedness, God, we ain't trying to molest no children. That's what the Talmud advocates for. For someone to sleep with a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old boy, 3-year-old girl, 9-year-old boy. If we can read that, right?
Highlight it.
Yeah, and this part right here, the first little part right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to reiterate what we're talking about, and just let them know what.
Okay. All right, we got who is Esau Edom?
Who is Esau? Who is Edom? If y'all don't have this book,
by Charles A. Weissman.
By Charles A. Weissman. If you don't have this book, you need to get it. This book actually is a book that you don't have. Okay, it's like $12 on Amazon. You better get it. And we're doing classes all across the country. You better get it before they find out that's what we're using it for. You understand? I don't actually have the physical book, like as far as the one from Amazon. Brothers in the school have that. I have a PDF. I don't know who told you that PDFs does not do the same thing as a regular book. But if I can download me a PDF, that's what I'm doing. And that's what I have here, right? I have a PDF, and it says of the book, Who is Esau, Who is Edom? Right? We brought you one source from a Jewish genealogy book. Now we're going to bring you the second source for Khazars. Go ahead.
This is page 11. The best historical evidence, therefore, shows that the Little Hats are not descended directly from the Israelites of the Bible.
Right, you got to say it that way, because if you say, hey, the such and such is not directly, right. But the Little Hats is not directly what?
Are not descended directly from the Israelites of the Bible, but derive much of their ancestry from the Khazars.
From the what?
From the Khazars.
Could you repeat one thing for me? Could you tell me who wrote that book?
This is this is Charles A. Weissman.
Charles A. Weissman. That is not a that's not a Negro name.
Weissman.
Yeah, Weissman. That is not a name of the children of the slave. That is somebody who's fighting for Gaza right now. And what did he write? Could you say that one more time?
Well, this guy may be fighting for Israel, not Gaza.
Say that one more time.
You may be fighting for Israel, right? Not Gaza.
Yeah, well, I like that land.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. I get what you. He's fighting for that land so that they can call all of it Israel. Yeah. Yeah, you got it.
He says the best historical evidence, therefore, shows that the Little Hats are not descended directly from the Israelites of the Bible, but derive much of their ancestry from the Khazars.
But they derive their ancestry from the Khazars, right? This is, and the reason why, the reason why we can find this stuff in these books, because it's a historical fact. It's a historical fact that's literally being covered up. The same way your slavery is allowed to be covered up, to where now America, and now the textbook is saying you came here because you was simply looking for work. You was an unemployed black man looking for work, and so you came to America to find that work that you was looking for. That history, that's crazy. Read on.
And other people of Turkish Asiatic blood.
Of Turkish Asiatic blood. Read on.
The Khazars are also of Edomite stock.
Also of what?
Edomite stock.
The Khazars are what?
Also of Edomite stock.
The Khazars are Edomites. The Khazars are what? Edomites. What? Edomites. What? Mm-hmm. Edomites. This is coming from who is Esau? Mm-hmm. Who is Edom? And if I'm not mistaken, at the end of those sentences on that book right there, they have the actual source that they cite. And then the source, you can read it at the bottom if you see something like that.
And both stocks make up the present day Jews, as the historian H.G. Wells states.
And as the historian H.G. Wells, we got H.G. Wells up in here, man. I'm looking around. I don't got a lot of time, but we got H.G. Wells. You think we don't got this stuff?
Right.
I can tell you exactly where I got because I know exactly where I get all my books from. I got H.G. Wells, right? My mom, before my mom had a stroke, right? My mom used to work at this place at like it was like a nursing home type thing, right? But it's for rich people, it's for rich people. They have like these cottages and all that kind of stuff, right? And a lot of times when the people pass away, what they do is they sell the people stuff. They'll have what they call is a white elephant sale. And I remember I used to go to the white elephant sales. I go get me a toaster. I go get me all types of little office supplies, all the little stuff, right? They had the tables there. And I remember when I came into the truth, when I came into the Israelite School of UPK, of course, that's when I started getting into books. That's when I really realized my true potential, that I'm a reader, I'm a researcher.
Right.
And so I'll go and I'll look for books. And guess what? I remember seeing somebody post H.G. Wells, like my first year in the truth. And so it was in the back of my head. When I went into this white elephant cell, guess what I seen? H.G. Wells. And I seen H.G. Wells. I got H.G. Wells for 25 cents. I don't have it here today. Of course, everybody gonna flame me. They're like, you ain't really got H.G. Wells. You ain't really got H.G. Wells. But I do have H.G. Wells, and I got it for 25 cents. Right. And what did H.G. Wells say?
He says that, and the Khazars are also of Edomite stock.
They're Edomites.
And both stocks make up the present day Jews, as the historian H.G. Wells states.
And H.G. Wells is a historian. He's a historian, a known historian. Look, I'm going to tell you, H.G. Wells is right up there with Herodotus. I got Herodotus right here. In Herodotus, they talk about the Egyptians being black, because for some reason, we even got to talk about Egyptians not being Africans. You see what I'm saying? Because after that movie, when Exodus, Gods and Kings came out, remember Rupert Murdoch? He put out a tweet that said, what are we talking? Because there was people that didn't agree with that movie, because they were like, wait a minute, the Egyptians were African people.
Right.
And Rupert Murdoch, he put out a tweet. You can Google this tweet. He said, what are we even arguing about? What are we up in arms about? Everybody knows that the Egyptians were white. That's what Rupert Murdoch said. So then I started looking into Rupert Murdoch. And one thing that I found out about Rupert Murdoch is Rupert Murdoch owns a company called News Corporation. And News Corporation owns a bunch of other, like, you know, subsidiary, how do they call them, subsidiary companies or something like that. Guess what one of the companies that Rupert Murdoch owns?
So what's that?
He owns the Zondervan Publishing Company. In the Zondervan Publishing Company, they put out a book called the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. And in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, we can look up the word Ham, and it says Ham, the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Libyans, the whatever else that, you know, the Canaanites, and one more.
Right.
What are we talking about here?
All right.
What are we talking about? So then I understand that this is somebody with so much money that they just acquiring companies and don't even know what the company sells, don't know what the company is about, don't know what the company does. I just acquired this company. But literally, one of the companies that you own put out a book that goes against your ideology. It goes against your tweet. And it's not like that is only conducive to the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. We have the Young's Compact Bible Dictionary. We got like 3 or 4 of them. So I got these glasses on. We got like 3 or 4 Compact Bible Dictionaries. And if you look at any one of them, if you look up the word Ham, it says the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes, but the Canaanites, the Libyans, the Egyptians, and all that kind of stuff. So we know those are dark people. Right. You got it.
I was going to just to answer a question in chat. This is for Olivia Arnold. This is the book, Who is Esau/Edom?
Okay.
By Charles A. Weissman. All right.
Yeah, you can keep going. Go ahead.
And this is the actual quote from H.G. Wells.
And that's the actual quote.
This is what I'm going to read now is the actual. Is the actual quote.
Okay, you got it.
I didn't read what he quoted yet.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. It says, quote, the Idumeans, Edomites, were made Jews, and a Turkish people, Khazars, were mainly Jews in South Russia.
It said the Edomites was what? Made Jews?
Made Jews.
They were made Jews because, see, look, one thing that we understand, right? One thing that we understand. Read that part one more time, Salaki.
It's H.G. Wells states, the Idumeans, Edomites, were made Jews, and a Turkish people, Khazars, were mainly Jews in South Russia.
Right. So one thing that H.G. Wells understands is he understands the history of the people that he's talking about.
Right.
He's a historian.
Right.
Most historians, they usually go to the place and see what the people look like. They write down what they look like, you know, the nose structure, the lips, they write down everything. So like, you know, they write down what they used to talk about, how they talk, they write down everything. H.G. Wells is a known historian, just like Tacitus. Just like Tacitus, we have Tacitus here. Tacitus talks about the Jews being black. We got just like Herodotus. Herodotus talks about like the Egyptians being black. And the reason why we even have to prove that the Egyptians were black is because now, if we prove that the Egyptians were black and that Moses was able to be raised up in the house of Pharaoh without Pharaoh knowing, Moses knew he was an Israelite. Oh man, something. No,
you need no.
Man, you know, after a while, you know, them kids come home from school, man. They come home coughing and stuff.
Blame no kid.
And all the time we get the carpet like, man, what the hell going on here? But I forgot I lost my train of thought. So one thing that Herodotus and Tacitus and all of them know is they know that the Egyptian, I have to bring up these books, right, on Egypt so for everybody, like that, what was his name? Rupert Murdoch, people like him, we have to bring out historians that were 5th century before Christ to show that Herodotus or Tacitus, one of them, I always get them mixed up, is 5th century before Christ. And they're telling you what the Egyptians look like. So if the Egyptians looked a certain way and the Israelites were able to hide amongst the Egyptians, that's giving you exactly what the Israelites look like. You got any more on that?
Sir, it says the main part of jewelry. It's because you want all the highlighted, right?
Yeah.
It says the main part of jewelry never was in Judea.
The main part of jewelry, which is the Eastern Europeans, read on.
Never was in Judea.
Never was where?
Never was in Judea.
Read on.
And had never come out of Judea.
They never was in Judea. They never came out of Judea. You know where they was at? Batagiano? They was at that border. And who was it that came and got us? Was that the
next sentence, sir, is on there. It's highlighted. It says, according to the Jewish Encyclopedia, the original stock of the Khazars came from the land of Edom.
It came from the land of Edom, man. Look, what are we talking about? Right. That's what we're doing. We're connecting the dots, right? We understand who these people are. We understand that there were a few major conversions to what you would call the religion of Black people. You'll see one in Josephus when John Hyrcanus, conquered the Edomites. You'll see even in what is that? Is that Purim? You even see in Esther how at the end of Esther they converted. Right? And then you read about the Khazars. There was multiple conversions of Edomites throughout history. Multiple. All you have to do is just know the different conversions. And if I can if I can prove the conversions, then I can prove that you are not those people. If I can prove that you are a Roman, I can prove that you're not those people. Right? Where did the Romans, after the Roman Empire, where did the Romans go to? The Romans went up to Great Britain. Ain't that something? They conquered Great Britain. They conquered the UK. And guess what that society was called? That society was called Romano Britain. It might have been Romano Britanno or something like that, but Romano Britain, Roman Britain. Guess where those British people that was Romans came from? Guess where they migrated to? They migrated right here to the US. And started calling themselves America. It don't matter what you call yourself. It still stands that your bloodline is from Esau. It's from those same Romans, from those same Greeks, from them same, the Romans and the Greeks. Right.
So if I may, sir, last night Officer Dacian did a class, and he was talking about how when we went brought into Assyrian captivity, how when the Assyrian king wanted to fill our land up, he brought his people over there and to fill that land up.
You said Second Kings, right? First or Second Kings, right? Yeah, that's right.
One of them. And he brought them people over and then had our priests teach them the ways of the God of the land.
Lions was killing them and all that kind of stuff going on.
Exactly. There you go. Yep. That's it. And that's how you got the converts. That's how you even got when we get to the New Testament with King Herod, he was Idumean. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
That process been started. They with their Assyrian captivity, they always wanted to learn how to follow the God of the Israelites.
Right. And just the spirit, the characteristics of these people. You're definitely correct with that history. In Acts 13:1, Give me Acts 13:1 real quick, so we understand. I don't got to keep reading this. Who is Esau? Who is Edom? Get the book more for just what I was reading as far as the Khazars, right? I was specifically on the Khazars today, so I only read that portion. But you have to read who is Esau, who is Edom. You have to read the whole thing. It has way more than that. I'm gonna give you this right here for time's sake as well. This also talks about the Khazars. This talks about someone named because you're going to see his name. This guy's name right here is actually in the Jewish encyclopedia. His name is Hasdai.
Right. That's the next one.
Hasdai bin Isaac
Shipwreck.
Ibn Sheprach. Yeah. So you'll see in this book right here, right? Because I don't have time to actually bring out this one, but you'll see in here is a letter that. What's that guy's name again?
Hasdai Ibn Sheprach.
Right.
Sheprach.
This is how this book right here lets you know that Khazars is real. I don't care what they talking about. Remember, the Khazars converted to Judaism in 740 AD. Hasdai heard about this great Jewish kingdom. And what Hasdai did was Hasdai wrote the dude. He wrote the king of the Khazars at that time, which his name was Joseph. King Joseph. And Hasdai wrote him. And remember, Hasdai is in the 900s.
Right, 960, about 960.
This 200 years after the Khazar conversion. We all know, every book tells you that the Khazars converted in 740. This is 200 years after their conversion. You see this guy, Hasdai, writing the Khazars, which is the king's name is Joseph, because he wants to know more about these people and he wants to meet them. This is what this book talks about. Guess what? A couple of years later, he got a letter back from Joseph. He got a letter back from the king of the Khazars, and the king of the Khazars told him that, of course, they wasn't directly descended from the Israelites. He tells them who they descend from. In the book, they talk about they descend from the seventh son of Edomite, or no, they say Japhites or something like that. They attribute Khazar to Japhites when these are Edomites. Right. I don't care what type of name you try to, it's still not Israelite. I don't care if you call him an Edomite, whatever the hell you call him, it's not an Israelite. Right. Get these books, man. Get this stuff right here. Right. Get this stuff. Right. What part? You said you was reading one more part?
No, you just basically just broke it down. That last part that you wanted me to read. It was about Hasdai Ibn Sheprach.
Okay, so
it says, who was foreign minister of Abda al-Rama, Sultan of Cordova. His letter to King Joseph of the Khazars about 960 speaks of the tradition according to which the Khazars once dwelt near the Seir Mountains.
Right. And so let me read this part to you right here. This is going to be the last thing I read. Salakia, I didn't get the chance to show you the books that I have as far as the Jews of Antiquity. I actually wanted to show y'all that. So because I wanted to do like a compare and contrast thing. But you know how I go, man. 2 hours sometimes it isn't long enough. So if somebody reminds me or somebody remembers, I'll show you exactly what the Jews look like, because I have the pictures, what they look like when they was in Egypt. I got plenty of pictures, plenty of books, and I'll definitely show you on Thursday. Somebody please remember. And now I'm going to show you one more thing, and this is going to sew it up, right? This is the New Standard Jewish Encyclopedia. Of course, it was written by, compiled by more than 200 American, European, and Israeli scholars. And in this book right here, because I tried to look for the original ones, inside of that book right there, Who is Esau, Who is Edom? They give you quotes from out of the Jewish Encyclopedia, but they give you the quotes from the older ones, like 1904, 1905. I can't find those. I think Captain Khazars has one of them, if I'm not mistaken, because I seen him pull out like a diction or a, encyclopedia that's pretty old. So, but however, I was able to find a new standard encyclopedia that has the same information in it. And if I could, brother, if I could give you this. Of course, it goes through the whole history and everything, but I'm gonna just highlight. I just have 2 lines highlighted, 2.5 lines highlighted, which is important. This is how I'm gonna end out my class. Is the fact that well, we have to that highlighted part right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this one.
Yeah,
or
yeah, because that's the that part is still from that Khazars.
Want me to start from here, or where you want me to start from?
No, you could just tell them what the book, where you from, and then just read that last little part.
This online.
Yeah. We don't need the whole. They can get the book for all that. You can get the book for all that. And the point of us doing this class is for anybody who's an Israelite out there, right? If you're an Israelite and you kind of on the fence of, I believe I'm an Israelite, but I just don't know how to prove it. Right? I just don't know how to prove that I'm an Israelite. I know that I'm an Israelite, but you have these people that's saying that they're Israelites, and they say that they can go back to the second, this, whatever. How can I prove it? This is the information right here with these books to prove who they are, because if you can cast doubt on who they are, then of course they're not the people. Then we have to ask a new question. The question is, who are these people then, right? So, but this is the third source. I believe this is the third source, right? They say if you can produce 3 sources, then you should be telling the truth. If you can produce 3 or 4 of them saying the same thing,
Definitely the third source
from their people. Right. It's not from Commander General Yahana.
Right.
It's not written by you, Matazi Yahana. They be like, oh man, because he's anti-Semitic. It's not written by you. It's written by them. So okay, there we go. You got it.
This is the 7th edition, the New Standard Jewish Encyclopedia.
Do we have that? Salaki, I didn't mean to cut you off. Do we have that sign-in sheet? I don't have the specific sign-in sheet. I do have to get that. I'm glad you said something. I'm definitely glad you said something about that. Because that is something that we will get here in this school. But what we can do is Satan on this tracking. I was just thinking like that. All right, so with the so what was I saying? Please post the sign-in sheet. Oh, Salakia. I do not have the post the sign-in sheet. However, I will make a list of everybody who's in the chat who is still a trooper.
Get it real quick.
The brother's actually trying to get it now. So, but I will definitely make a note of everybody who's in here, right? So everybody who's in here will get credit for your class today. And Lord allow, however much time you got, man, you get your Hebrew name, man, and let's get it on. Let's get it on. All right. So we're just going to keep on going so I can finish this point before we get up out of here. I got to give you this last point. And of course, every book that I've read today is on Amazon, even this last one that the brother's about to bring up. You found it or?
Concert.
Okay. So the brother's putting it in.
I believe it's about the postman.
Okay, so he's the brother's putting it in now. The water to this brother, man. God, where would I be without Matazi Yahweh? Right? So there goes the link for you guys. The water to you, Kimmy. Appreciate you reminding me.
All right.
And so we got one more point for you. Go ahead.
This is the 7th edition of the New Standard Jewish Encyclopedia. Little Hat Encyclopedia, page 555.
Mm-hmm.
It says descendants of the K.
And we're looking up the word Khazars, right? This is the word that we're looking up so that we can find the definition and anything associated with the term Khazar. And of course, for time's sake, I can't read the whole definition, but I will read 3 lines from out of it. Go ahead.
It says the descendants of the K probably survived among the Crimea Karaites.
Right. So descendants of the Khazars. What it say? When it says K, it's talking about Khazars.
Probably survived among the Crimea Karaites.
Right. So it survived among the people of Crimea. Right, and which some of those people that lived in the Crimea were little hats that called themselves Karaites.
Right,
they called themselves Karaites. You'll see if you you go on the internet and you type in Israelite versus Karaite Jew or something like that. You'll see this one specific dude. I don't know his name, but you'll see this one specific dude, and he was debating he was trying to debate the Israelites, saying that he know who he is, and he used to hey Bataz Yala, when I used to watch his jaw, right, he used to get frustrated. He used to be like, because they're trying to, because the black Hebrew Israelites is trying to say that I'm not a Jew or we're not Jews, and he's reading whatever he got typed out on his paper, but we're literally reading his history here. And also in this book right here, the Jewish genealogies, you'll see that it specifically talks about the Karaites, and it says that the Karaites are converts. Mm-hmm. Right, just to that specific dude. I know he's not watching, maybe he is, but to him, he has to refute his people on that. You got it
right, and the Karaites spelled K-A-R-A-I-T-E-S.
Right, they're called Karaites, right? And with the Karaites, the difference between Karaite and Orthodox, I'll just give you this real quick, is that Orthodox believe in the Talmud, they believe in the Kabbalah. Well, they read the oral. You'll hear the oral law, which is the Talmud, and then they also read the Kabbalah. So that's the difference between them and the Karaites, because the Karaites just only believed solely in the Torah. They didn't want to. This particular group didn't want to read any other books, right? They just believed that everything that God wanted to say was literally in the Bible, right? So go ahead.
The Krimchaks.
Go ahead.
And other little hats of Eastern European.
Uh-huh.
That was it.
Oh, Salaki, can I see that real quick? Mm-hmm. I might be tripping. The water here, bro. Oh, okay. So, okay. I got it.
Okay.
It said the descendants of the Khazars probably survived, right? Remember, the Khazars is a group of people who everybody say is going now, right? So it says that they probably survived among the Crimea Karaites, Krimchak, and other Jews of Eastern European origin. So again, this is saying that the Khazars are still here, that they are among those people and Eastern European little hats, which come from Poland, which come from Russia, which come from Germany. The same people who's fighting in this war today for a land that belongs to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
Right.
And I'm going to quote a scripture on my way going out. It says, when the scripture is Job 9:24, says, when the wicked beareth rule, the earth mourns. And what we seeing today, right before your eyes is mourning. Right? We see the earth mourning. We see the people of Palestine, right? They mourning because the wicked beareth rule. The people that are over them beareth rule. So now those people are in mourning. And the only way that this can be corrected, for everybody listening to me, the only way that this can be corrected It says that the when the wicked beareth rule, the righteous when the wicked beareth rule, the earth mourns. When the righteous beareth rule, the earth rejoices. The only way that we can make this thing right is when the righteous start to bear rule. So that means if you listen to my voice, if you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, get up in these classes, man. Get up in these classes so you can learn how to be righteous. So you can learn how to change your life.
Right.
So that you can repent, right? Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You can, and then it can be taught what? To your family. Right. You can teach it to your sons. You can teach it to your daughters. You can teach it to the people around you. So that the righteous can bear rule. And then everybody will be happy because a Black man is ruling over top of them. And with that being said, unless we have any more questions, the water to the chat, the chat was on fire today. Right. Y'all really kept me going. And so I'll talk to y'all Thursday, man. I'll see y'all Thursday. Any questions y'all have, we'll be back in here. Let's get it. All right. With that being said, I'd like to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Mataziaga.
Right. Right.
I think I always go the wrong way. So like, I'll be bugging. All right, you got it.
All right. ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother and sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and show themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister is interested in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes to the commandment. Numbers 18:21. Malachi 3:8-10 means 10th in Hebrew, Ma'ashra. That's 10% for every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest funds, free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. It's whatever amount you like to donate. Upcoming holy convocations, we have the feast of the feast of dedication.
Yeah,
it's December 7th. I think it's December 7th, Thursday, December 7th. I think it's Thursday.
Right, and what it is right is how we dedicate the temple, right? We dedicate the temple back to the Lord. Remember, the heathens was all in there; they was profaning the temple. So what we want to do during this time, what we usually do is we clean up the school and we see how we can add to the temple, right, to make it better, to make it more glorious. So I know one thing that I was able to find a couple of weeks ago. I found 2 sets of encyclopedias, man, to throw up in here. What? Expensive ones too. They feel good. They feel good on the fingers. So that's what everybody should be doing. You should be looking to better your school.
Damn right.
All right.
So prepare for that. That's Thursday, December 7th. Thursday, December 7th. Look to your camp leaders, your particular zones, to see where your service will be held, where your class will be held. All right. It's a high holy day. It's feast of dedication. That's right. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, men of Israel, Amajim. Men of Israel, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Matas, Slaki. SARS meet the turn. I'm going to give a sister courtesy salute. Sister Amajim. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat. Amajim, Barak.
Yahweh Shabbat, Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh class dismissed.
There we go. Water, Hebrew.
Yeah, I'm about to say.